p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Ghislaine Maxwell and how she fights the DOJ in high-stakes appeal, grand jury transcripts, Supreme Court, and Trump pardon showdown. Ghislaine Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year federal sentence, convicted in 2021 for her role in recruiting and grooming underage girls for Jeffrey Epstein. She is incarcerated in a minimum security prison camp in Bryan, Texas, after being transferred from Tallahassee in early August 2025. Her legal team has formally opposed the Justice Department's attempt to unseal grand jury transcripts from her case. They argue that releasing untested, hearsay-laden testimony, especially material never subjected to cross-examination, would jeopardize her appeal and cause irreparable harm to her due process rights. Her attorneys emphasize that Maxwell is alive and actively litigating, whereas Epstein is not. And I shall stick in there and note that it's amazing how these folks get due process. But an immigrant who works hard and is not a pedophile and has never committed a crime cannot get at least due process in the court system. It's very sad to say. Now, continuing, the DOJ, under pressure from President Trump has requested that 2 federal judges unseal the transcripts in both the Epstein and Maxwell investigations. They maintain that most testimony is already public and that disclosure serves the public interest, especially given Epstein's high-profile case. However, they are seeking time until around August 8th to decide whether to also unseal exhibits. Victim attorneys, including Epstein accuser Annie Farmer and some other survivors, have backed selective release, urging courts to unseal transcripts with redactions to preserve victim identities. Meanwhile, Maxwell's petition for the U.S. Supreme Court to hear her appeal is fully briefed. Her claim centers on a disputed 2007 non-protection agreement called an NPA Epstein signed in Florida, which Maxwell's team argues immunized her as a potential co-conspirator. The Second Circuit rejected her appeal, and now the case awaits the court's decision at its, quote, long conference, end quote, on September 29th, with an announcement expected in October. Now, reports indicate Maxwell met twice with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche in July to discuss Epstein's network. She reportedly discussed nearly 100 individuals, though the DOJ has not confirmed releasing details of those interviews. Her team is also reportedly exploring a presidential pardon from Donald Trump, potentially in exchange for her testimony before Congress. Maxwell's brother claims the family is preparing a final appeal, including a habeas corpus petition and exploration of a Trump pardon, arguing she was denied a fair trial and unfairly targeted. In sum, Maxwell is actively fighting DOJ efforts. This is after her conviction now. Let's make this all clear. We know what she was doing. We know what she was convicted of, and we know who was hanging out with her. However, Maxwell is actively fighting DOJ efforts to unseal grand jury transcripts to protect her pending Supreme Court appeal. The High Court may or may not take her case in late September, with a decision on review expected in October. Now, she remains a central figure as political pressure intensifies, both for transparency from the DOJ and as a potential informant in exchange for legal relief. I appreciate you all listening to today's quick brief. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Please like and share if you wish to do so. And I'll see you all on the next episode. Thank you all for listening.